Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well on this Wednesday. Hope that I'm actually live. You never really know these days. Just presume it. My name's Patrick, and I teach yoga in the Lee Health System. And this is something we're doing this week from 6:40 until 6:55 each morning. And I'm happy to report it's not 6:40 yet. I'm happy to report that for me. And I got here a few minutes early. So I might chat a little bit before we officially get started so no one feels like they're missing anything. And tell you what's behind this, and then I plan to finish by 6:55. I'm waking up with goals this morning. Most of us do. Even if you're not sure how that day's gonna go, you tend to have expectations of how that day's gonna go. But most times we don't realize, good morning, Kristen. So excited to see your message. It's my third attempt at this, so I think I checked all the boxes. Yesterday, I ended up doing a YouTube video that I had checked as restricted to people over the age of 18. Don't know how it happened. But back to the expectations. So each of us, appreciate you too, wake up with these expectations, but we don't really know that we have them until they're not met. And one thing that's been happening with the current situation is that there's this rolling wave of, I at least thought this was going to happen, or at least I thought I could rely on this, or at a minimum I expected this. But it doesn't, again, show itself until whatever that minimal expectation is that we're subconsciously holding is not met. And we tend to have a reaction when that happens to either blame or feel shame or feel guilty. Probably all of us at some point, particularly in the past couple of weeks, have said, I have no right or reason to complain or be upset because there's probably somebody, or I'm working with somebody who's in this situation which seems much more dire. And it's kind of hard after a while to sustain a sense of gratitude. Gratitude is essentially whatever you have, whatever you're feeling in life, whatever your current situation is, it's enough, that you're enough. But if we constantly keep trying to tap that or juice that by reminding ourselves that it could be much worse, it just doesn't feel good after a while. It might be the truth as we perceive it, but it's hard to feel a sense of joy or a sense of peace and contentment when you keep having to reach for a really extreme, difficult to imagine situation to make you appreciate your current one. So you can start today, because it's 6:40, so we're officially started, by just recognizing whatever you feel. In other words, the mind is coming up with some crazy stuff right now. It will come up with these worst case scenarios for the future, which doesn't exist yet. Nobody can predict. And it'll also come up with stories about what's already happened in the past. And you can swing between those things. I should have taken care of this before this moment. I've been trying to get it. Like, you know what? Storm season's coming. And if I don't do this, and you're swinging between these two things that exist purely in your mind. The only thing we know for sure right now, the only thing that you can be certain of in this moment is this moment. And even that can turn into just be grateful for the present. Stay in the present, stay focused. And even those phrases can become stress inducing because we're trying to coach ourselves into not feeling what's happening in our bodies. I have someone very close to me in my family who works in the healthcare fields, not in this area, don't worry, and in Southeast Florida, where it's very stressful right now in some healthcare facilities. And he says nothing enrages him and his coworkers more than when, amidst all the stress, nervousness about do we have what we need, when somebody who's perceived as leading the effort says, and don't worry, we've got the meditation room for you over here. He says it actually like triggers a rage for him and other people, because they're like, meditation room? What we need are these, and these things. Quit suggesting or letting us know that you're trying to meet our needs by telling us that we can go meditate somewhere. We're in the midst of something here where we need support in this moment. So you may not have to go to a meditation room to relax. And that might be the most important thing that we can feel in the moment. Because if we put it off, if we say, well, I'll start relaxing at the end of my shift, or I'll start relaxing when we get through this, and you can put whatever you want to symbolize what this is. It could be the end of the pandemic, when it's declared no longer a pandemic. It could be the end of a certain situation with a coworker, with a particular patient, with a supervisor, whatever the struggle is with your taxes, your rent. I mean, the list can go really long. Once this is resolved, I can relax. It's not that what's on the end of that sentence, once this is resolved, this being whatever that is. It's that we're delaying or putting off our own innate ability, which the body's constantly offering, to come back into balance, to let the parasympathetic nervous system respond to whatever the sympathetic nervous system is reacting to. We all know that we can't stay in reaction the entire time. You can't be in ER mode constantly. And some of us even resist relaxation right now because we might think that relaxing means giving up, not trying as hard, not caring, not taking it seriously, not giving it our all. You being perfectly present in this moment is you giving your all. You're giving yourself to the moment. You're recognizing that your presence is enough. And you're being gentle with yourself and accepting whatever you feel in the moment. And when we tap more deeply into what we feel in the moment, we actually can tap into the innate wisdom of our body that's guiding us into what to do and say next. This is the time when a lot of us might feel like whatever we do or say is inadequate. We're not quite able to reach into the moment or connect with the moment. You just find a way to breathe comfortably in that moment, and you'll be able to be perfectly present and let go of the need to think you have to say or do the exact perfect thing in that moment. The belief that somehow we're not whole, that we're not quite there yet, is really the chronic stress that can make us predisposed to sickness in our body and can begin to corrupt our relationships with other people, because it's beginning with a rejection of what our relationship with ourself is in that moment. So I won't talk more about it. I will invite you to an experience, because no matter who's telling us what, no matter how many positive messages, no matter how many times someone else may say we're a hero or that we're appreciated, if we're not feeling that for ourselves, it's gonna feel like you're kind of numb and you're getting a hug. You know that something's there, but you're not completely connected or feeling it fully because we're keeping ourselves from feeling fully what's happening. So I'll just offer this short breathing technique, which can be known to induce relaxation. You can do it now if it's available for you, because it'll only take a few minutes, and we'll finish by 6:55 or sooner. And if it's not available for you now, you might try it on this video later, or whatever video pops up in your feed, or whatever seems to feel like, take it throughout the day. So this technique just allows you to pay close attention to what's felt in your body without reacting to it, without going, oh, but I should be doing this. You know, if I might say relax your jaw, and then you go, oh, that's right, I always keep my jaw really tight. If you go into that self-rejection mode of I could be doing it better, because that's what that is, right? Like I can work harder, I can do better. It's basically saying whatever I'm currently feeling isn't right. I've got to get to this, or I've got to roll off that. So just accepting what you're feeling in the moment is very powerful, but it's very hard to do through the mind because it'll always come up with a yeah, but, or this would be even better, or you don't quite, or you know, look how you get distracted. So pay very close attention to what's felt in the body, and we'll go for what that subtle connection is between your body and your thoughts, which is the breath. The breath can let you release yourself from the stress of the thoughts that we don't even want half the time. We feel bombarded by them. And just pay attention to the wisdom and the peace that's available through the body. So this technique will begin by just closing your eyes. I'll just lower my eyes so we don't have one of these going while you're trying to relax. And pay close attention to your breathing. You don't have to do anything different with it. You don't have to do any special techniques. You don't have to make the breath deeper, anything like that right now. Just pay attention to your breath. If you're having any trouble paying attention to your breath, you can slightly exaggerate the sound with just a long sigh. Relax your shoulders and your jaw. Keep the tongue relaxed. And keeping your eyes closed, just visualize breathing in now the center of the abdomen. If there's any trouble visualizing breathing into the center of the abdomen, just lightly touch your abdomen, your solar plexus. And feel the breath coming in through there as if there's almost like a small opening in there. Just the breath coming in and out through the center of the abdomen. And now as you visualize the breath coming in through the center of the abdomen, and it's okay to touch it, to use that tactile sensation to orient your attention, to touch the center of the abdomen. Visualize the breath coming in through the center of the abdomen, drawing it up through the torso to the center of the chest. And as if you could, just visualize the breath going out through the center of the chest. So the visualization now with your eyes closed is the breath coming in through the center of the abdomen, the energy moving up through the chest and out through the center of the chest, as if you're threading the breath in through the center of the abdomen, up through the torso, out through the center of the chest. Don't do anything to rush your exhale. Let it be as long as it needs. And just visualizing the breath as it comes in through center of the abdomen and out through the center of the chest. Now just visualize the next time you breathe in through the center of the abdomen, you can touch it as many times as you need, closing off the opening. So as if you could now just visualize the breath coming in and out through the center of the chest. You can touch the center of the chest if you need that tactile sensation to orient your attention to what's felt in the body. Just become aware of any sensation, any feeling around the center of the chest. And now as you breathe in, visualize the breath coming in through the center of the chest and visualize it splitting, going down both arms, perhaps with your palms facing out or up. So the visualization now is the breath coming in through the center of the chest. It splits at the chest and radiates down each arm. And as if you could, just visualize the breath going out through a small opening in the palm of each hand. So the visualization now with your eyes closed, is the breath coming in through the center of the chest, radiating down each arm, out through the palm of each hand. Let the breath be soft. If you have to keep initiating a longer exhale with a long sigh, it's fine. We're tapping into the soothing nature of the parasympathetic nervous system. And now as you breathe in, just visualize closing off that small opening in the center of the chest. And as if you could, just visualize breathing down the arms and out through a small opening in the palm of each hand. Become aware of any sensation that you might notice in your shoulders, your arms, the palm of each hand. And now very slowly release any visualization that has to do with the sensations in the body. Just come back to noticing your breath and release yourself from any effort to feel anything, to make anything happen, to follow any particular technique. But keep your eyes closed. Just aware of your breath. Aware of what's felt in the body. Aware of anything that might be floating through the mind. And just keep letting it float through as you remain connected to your breath, anchored in noticing your breath. Notice it in whichever way is available, whether it's the sound, perhaps the temperature of the breath, the moistness of the breath as you feel the exhale, or just the rising and the falling of the abdomen. Keep your eyes closed here. And just recognize your body's innate ability to come back into balance in service of your highest self. Release yourself from any shoulds or coulds. Processing about how you feel about what you feel. And just pay very close attention in this moment to what you feel in the body. Keep your jaw relaxed and give yourself credit for bringing yourself into this moment where you allowed the thoughts to stop running the show. When you pay close attention to your body, you're just tapping into that intuitive intelligence that runs the show, this symphony that is your body, which is doing the very best it can. And now and at any time throughout the day, when you feel resistance to whatever's happening in the moment, see if you can just close your eyes, however briefly, as long as it's not dangerous to anyone at that moment, like while you're driving wouldn't be good. Recognize that your body's innate wisdom is available for you. And that just by noticing your breath, you're noticing what's going right in your body. Noticing what's going right in the world in which you find yourself. And noticing your own ability to be with peace with yourself as you are and the world as it is. Have a gentle day. Gentle with yourself. We'll see you tomorrow morning.